What is your favorite story?
I think my favorite story at the moment is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
My favorite story that I can think of as of late would be the story of Spider-Man.
I think in overall experience, my favorite story would probably be The Godfather.
My favorite story is Julie and Julia.
Probably Angels in America.
His album, Good Kid, Mad City.
A Silent Voice or Koe no Katachi.
Probably Spirited Away.
Donnie Darko.
Mulan growing up.
The Book Thief by, I think it's Marcus Zusak.
I used to love a good series called The City of Ember.
It would have to be The Last of Us.
Ooh, good one. Yeah, that's a good one. I haven't seen that one yet. I haven't gotten around to it. I remember you were talking about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I made the mask.
Oh, that really?
I think the specific scene that just hit was the school festival where all the X's fell off,
yeah, at the
and
end.
then the music drops. Yeah,
Oh,
that hit.
I believe that movie really sparked my interest and passion for cooking.
But I guess I do relate with Pryor feels really lonely and also develops a really big ego because of it. That does resonate with me because I understand how that would happen to somebody, how they become so alone that they become a god for themselves.
What makes the story great is that he gets to learn about moral responsibility, and that's what shapes a lot of my moral framework.
Someone who looked like me and Asian to do something for her family. It's just very empowering to see.
Throughout the movie, you see how she's kind of growing up. In the beginning of the movie, she's really attached to her parents, really scared of everything. At the end of the movie, she's the one who's leading her parents out.
There's a couple of moments where she struggles between listening to her parents and doing what she thought is best. I struggle with that a lot. Oftentimes, I feel what I feel needs to be done versus what my parents think. Kind of like a conflicting narrative.
The last song is almost like a triumphant piece where he's finally embracing where he's from and his experiences to have made him a better person.
How important do you think stories are to your life in general?
I think stories are one of the most important things in my life.
I believe they have pretty big impact on my daily life.
Stories are treated differently with people. People absorb them in different manners. When you ask someone, why do you go to the movies? People will give you different reasons.
It's sort of an escape for me to just relax and kind of forget about all the stress that I have from the outside world,
I would say stories really highlight some of the things that you may not notice or you may think are everyday things, but then once you see it in a movie or a TV show, you're huh, that is kind of an issue.
Personal stories, I can tell different stories that entertain people or teach a lesson.
There's always something I think you can learn from stories.
Because growing up, you don't really have the sense of what romance is, for example. You kind of have a certain expectation of what it means to be in a relationship and how one shows love and care versus a bad relationship or a toxic relationship. And I feel you really take that into perspective.
Every type of media we consume, whether it be a book, movie, show, YouTube video, we intake a lot of the information and it kind of builds our character.
My parents both work in the medical field and they come home with a lot of stories, and whether it's about stories that are centered around our safety or stories that are centered around social relationships. So to hear about stories from other people really puts a huge influence on my decision making.
I would say it's definitely made me more aware. It's definitely allowed me to take a step back and look at how I try to communicate what I'm trying to tell other people. It's oh, if I say this, what will happen?
Storytelling, it's a way to connect with people. It can be any kind of story, really. It can be something lighthearted. You can really get to know someone. I think, it's a really great way to be able to connect with someone.